Hello, my name is Claire. Welcome back to my channel. For this week's video, I'm going to be doing a Spring Craftsman Home built in The Sims 4. For this build, I'm going to be using the Seasons Pack and the Greenhouse Haven Kit. This is a home built on a 20x15 lot, and the value of the home is down in the description. The home is a 1 bedroom, 2 bathroom home, and I am going to be starting the video off on the porch. I was trying to go for nice springtime colors throughout this space. I kind of landed more on like blues and purples, but I wanted the overall space to feel nice and open. Very area is why this home is a open concept here on the first level. I was also trying to have a lot of windows in this space, so we're going to be making a little drop zone area. Of course, want to make sure your Sims are safe, so I do have the security panel for this home, and we're just going to be adding items into the kitchen area. Next to the kitchen, there is a half bathroom, which just has a toilet and a sink in it, but I wanted to again bring some of that color into the home, and so I decided to make the cabinetry blue, just kind of bring in that colors, and going to be working on this kitchen area. I do have a island for more seating, maybe more of like a casual seating area, and then I do have a formal dining room kind of towards the back of the house, but this is also quite a small house, and so it's not that big of a walk for your Sims to get from the front of the house to the back of the house. And so we're just going to be adding a little bit of artwork and going to be adding some curtains above the windows and the doors. I don't add any curtains, even though they are a lot of windows on there, but I do add curtains onto the door on the upstairs, but I forget to show that. I cut that part out, but I do show me putting down this handy dandy coat rack. I know, at least where I live, when it's spring, you will still get that occasional winter storm, and so I feel like having like a small coat rack like that just kind of made sense. And so we're just going to making it a little cozier and closer to the door, and we're going to be adding some seating into the living room now. And like I said, I'm kind of keeping in this like blue and purple tones throughout the house, and now we're just going to be adding a bookshelf. I was mentioning that this home would be perfect for 1 to 2 Sims, since it is only a 1 bedroom home. And I do go back into the kitchen just for a little bit. That's kind of the hard part about doing small and open concept homes, is that you want to make sure that there is enough space for everything you planned for, and so you like make sure that there's enough like walkway between the living room and the kitchen, and you forget to add a little bit of decoration to the kitchen. And so just let me go back and add a little bit of decoration there. And now we're going to be adding a table for the Sims to have a little drop zone area. And I wanted to make sure that the Sims, like if they're like hosting a party or like a gardening party or some sort of other like big gathering event, that their Sims did have like a first floor bathroom. So this is right off of the kitchen, and like I said earlier, it's just a toilet and a sink in this space. It is a 1 by 3 room, so it's very small. And now we're going to be adding that drop zone area. I did have to do a little bit of rearranging to put in that drop zone area, and so I just put it right here next to the living room. I feel like this is like the perfect space for the drop zone area since it's right next to the coat rack and the umbrella. So we're just going to be adding some like nice floral springtime cards and going to be adding a plant and just making that area a little bit more cozy and trying to give that lived in feel over here in the corner of the living room. So it's a very simple space over here. Again, I wanted it to feel very lived in. So we do have a snake plant, which I don't think I've ever used that plant. So I wanted to make sure I used it in this build since it does kind of have a gardening vibes. You'll see later on in the video, but I do have a greenhouse in the back of the lot or in the backyard. So we're just making a small little gallery wall with a few like floral pictures and going to be now working on the dining room space. And this was originally going to be a dining room, and so I am glad I remembered that this was still going to be a dining room. This could also be like a office area, but I decided to make the office area upstairs in the loft space. So we're just going to continue with this dining room theme so we can have up to 7 Sims like eating here at this house. And now we're just going to be moving the salt and pepper over to the table and going to be making a little like table hutch. I don't exactly know what to call this, but it is a little like cabinet, and if you can look closely you can see that there's like plates on the inside, so that's why I'm calling it like a cabinet hutch in there. And now we're going to be finishing up this dining room area, adding some lights, and I realize that this is a little bit much, and so I do come back towards the end of the video to replace it with a more simple light in the dining room. But now we are going to be in the office slash loft, and very simple space. It just has a desk and a computer and a little bit of decorations on the desk area. Very simple space, but computers are very useful in your Sims day-to-day life, and so I always try to make sure I have a spot for the computer desk area to go. And I feel like every home, maybe not every home, but like homes usually have 1 to 2 computers in it, so that just seems like realistic to me and where I see computers. So we're just going to be now working on the bedroom space, and so this bedroom has its own private ensuite and a private balcony that overlooks the front of the house. And we're just going to be adding some cabinets, or not cabinets, these are dressers and side tables, and they're all from the seasons pack. So we're going to be adding a little chair, and when I was taking the screenshots for the end of the video, I realized like this might be a little bit too dark, but I feel like with all the white walls or gray walls, the dark wood kind of like fits good with like kind of pops it a little bit to, if I had like the lighter wood it might like blend in a little bit, but I think having this like darker tones, it really helps like make the furniture stand out. And so we're just going to be adding some artwork into this bedroom space now, and now we're going to be heading into the bathroom. So bathroom is very simple. I think this is called a 3/4 bathroom. It doesn't have a tub, but it does have a shower. All of these items that you can see are from either the base game or the seasons expansion pack for this bathroom. Very simple bathroom. In here I do add some storage, which isn't technically storage, it's more decorations, but it looks like it could be storage that your Sims could like go up and like grab an extra towel. And so we're just gonna be adding a art work in this bathroom, and then we're gonna be calling it good. It's a very simple bathroom, but this is a home designed for 1 to 2 Sims, so I wasn't trying to make it like big and elaborate in the bathroom, and I'm going to keep the balcony pretty simple, just an art easel and a telescope. And now we are in the last space of the home, which is the backyard and the greenhouse. So we're going to be working on the greenhouse first. It's a small greenhouse, but it does have a lot of stuff inside. And I was trying to primarily use the greenhouse haven kit for the greenhouse. It's kind of in the name. And if you're new to my channel, I have been trying to keep my builds very pack limited this year. So if you have any pack limited build suggestions, make sure to leave them down in the comments. And if you haven't yet, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button while you're down there. I post new videos every single Tuesday, so if you enjoy what you see, I have more videos. I've been doing this for a few years, so there's plenty of content and builds I have done for you to see. So we're just going to be adding some planters into the greenhouse, and then I add the flower arranging station from the seasons pack and put it in this greenhouse. And I do add honeybees to the build. I do get rid of one honeybee container to put another planter box, because this does have a little like bigger plant area. It's kind of thinking the greenhouse area is like for the starter plants, and then outside is like for the more mature and grown plants. So we're just going to be adding some more planters, and I do also add a grill area out here. First I wanted to see how many planters I could fit in this area, and then I was going to add the grill area. So here's that grill area. I feel like spring's just a nice time to like be outside after a long winter, and so wanted to add the grill area to just, help your Sims be more outside. And we are just going to be adding a few more planters out here. Going to be adding a little bit of candle decoration, and we are getting close to the screenshots of the video, so I hope you enjoyed watching. I post new videos every single Tuesday, and I hope to see you all next week for another Sims 4 video. Bye!